Have you ever been scrolling through your feed and just wondered, how do they do that? How do these businesses build these huge followings and seem to connect with so many people? If that question has ever felt a little overwhelming, trust me, you are not alone. So today, we're going to demystify it all with a really simple roadmap to social media marketing. I mean, really think about that question for a second. How do you reach billions of people? For pretty much all of human history, that was just impossible. But today, well, the answer is literally in our pockets. See, social media isn't just a fun tool anymore. It is a direct line to a global audience. And knowing how to use it, that's one of the most powerful skills you can possibly have. All right, so here's our roadmap. It's got 5 key stops. We're going to start with the why this even matters. Then we'll build a game plan, pick the right platforms for you, dive into how to create and connect, and wrap it all up by figuring out what to measure so you know it's working. Let's get into it. Okay, first stop, the big why. It's so tempting to just jump right in and start posting, right? But if we don't really get why we're doing it, all our effort is just kind of directionless. So let's talk about why social media has become an absolutely essential tool for pretty much any business or creator out there today. So what are we really talking about here? Social media marketing, or SMM for short, is basically the art and science of using platforms like Instagram or TikTok to hit your business goals. It's so much more than just posting pretty pictures. It's about strategically creating stuff and connecting with people to drive actual real-world results. And when you do it right, the benefits are huge. You can get your brand in front of so many more people, you can spark real conversations, drive people to your website, and build a truly loyal community. But the real game changer? You can do all of this in a way that is incredibly cost-effective. It's one of the highest return investments you can make in marketing, period. So, how do we get all those amazing benefits? Well, just like building a house, you got to have a blueprint first. If you just jump in and start posting randomly, you're pretty much guaranteed to waste a lot of time and effort. Real success always starts with a solid game plan. And that game plan, it breaks down into 3 really simple but really crucial steps. First, you've got to define your audience. Who are you actually talking to? Then we'll create what are called personas to make that audience feel real. And finally, we'll set some super clear, measurable goals to guide everything we do. Let's just zoom in on that first step, because honestly, it is the foundation for everything else. Who are these people? What do they love? And most importantly, what are their pain points? What problems do they have that you can solve? See, knowing your audience struggles with finding healthy lunch recipes is way more useful than just knowing they're 35 years old. That's the secret sauce to creating content that really connects. Now, let's talk about goals. Saying you want to get more followers feels like a goal, but it's really just a wish. The difference is making it a SMART goal that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So instead of that vague wish, you get a concrete target you can actually aim for, like increase Instagram followers by 10% in the next 3 months. Now that is a real plan. Strategy? Check. Okay, now it's time to pick our tools. Think of social media platforms like a toolbox. You wouldn't use a hammer to saw a piece of wood, right? The key isn't to be on every platform. It's to be on the right ones for your specific audience and your goals. So where should you put your energy? Well, if you need to reach a super wide range of people of all ages, Facebook is still a powerhouse, especially for ads. If your brand is very visual and you're aiming for a younger crowd, Instagram is your best friend. For anything business to business or professional networking, you have to be on LinkedIn. And of course, if you're ready to dive into the world of short-form video, TikTok is where all the energy is right now. All right, we've planned our work, so now it's time to work our plan. This part is all about action. It's about turning that strategy into content that people actually want to see and building a real, living community around your brand. So what should you actually post? The key is to think about a content mix. High-quality images are great for grabbing attention fast. Videos are amazing for telling a story or showing a quick tutorial. Infographics can make complicated information super easy to understand. And hey, don't sleep on a simple text post. Sometimes just asking a really good question can get you the most engagement of all. And this right here, this might be the single most important point in this whole thing. It is called social media for a reason. Way too many people treat it like a billboard, just shouting their message out and hoping someone hears. Don't do that. Think of it more like a party. The real magic happens when you stop broadcasting and you start having a conversation. So how do you build that two-way conversation? It's all about being present. Reply to comments and messages, and do it quickly. Use your page as a front line for customer service. And here's a pro tip. Encourage your followers to share their own photos or stories using your product, and then feature them on your page. That one little thing can turn a passive follower into a super active fan. We are on the home stretch, our final section. So you're creating content, you're connecting with people, fantastic. But how do you know if any of it is actually working? That is where measurement comes in. You have to track your performance so you can see what's working and what's not. If you only have time to track one single thing, please make it this: your engagement rate. This one number tells you what percentage of people who saw your post actually interacted with it. They liked it, commented, shared it, saved it. It is the purest measure of whether your content is truly connecting with your audience. Now, beyond engagement, there are a few other numbers you should know. Reach is how many unique people see your stuff. Impressions is the total number of times it was seen. Here's an easy way to think about it. If one person sees your post 3 times, your reach is 1, but your impressions are 3. Simple. And finally, click-through rate, or CTR, tells you how many people actually clicked that link in your post, which is so important for knowing if your call to action is working. So if we were to boil this entire roadmap down to its absolute core, this is it. This is the loop. You plan your strategy, you create your content, you connect with your community, and you measure the results. Then you take what you learned from measuring and you use it to make your next plan even smarter. It's a constant cycle of getting better and better. And that brings us to the end of our roadmap. You now have the fundamental steps you need to get started and really make an impact. The only thing left to do now is to begin. Your audience is out there. They are waiting to hear from you. So the only question left is, what are you going to say first?